What makes Texas A&M the amazing school that it is today? Some people may say it's Jimbo Fisher and the Fighting Texas Aggie football team. Some people may say it's the education you get or the friends you'll make at Texas A&M. Well, all those things may be true, but I think what makes Texas A&M so much different from every other school is the traditions we have on campus. Everything from silver taps to muster to yell leaders to march the brazzes. These are what make Texas A&M different from everywhere else. Now, although I think these traditions are the best things we do on campus, I also think that many of these traditions are being forgotten by current and incoming students. And this is something I hope to raise awareness about today. And so before I dive in to this presentation I prepared for you, I'd like to start with the oldest tradition on campus. Now, what do you think the oldest tradition on campus is? Many people may think it's Aggie muster, silver taps. Some people may say it's the yell leaders. Well, all of those things are very old. Several of those are over 100 years old. It is actually the Corps of Cadets. At corps.tama.edu, it says that the Texas A&M Corps of Cadets was founded in 1876, the same year that Texas A&M was founded. So that makes the Corps of Cadets 146 years old, much older than every other tradition on campus. And this is why it is the oldest tradition on campus. Now, since the Corps of Cadets is an organization, and since the Corps of Cadets loves their traditions, every single tradition that we have on campus was started by the Corps of Cadets. And this is why it is so vital to continue to support the Corps of Cadets. Now, as a current cadet myself, it may seem arrogant or pompous when I say this, but I believe this to be very true, in that without the Corps of Cadets, you don't have Texas A&M. What I mean by that is the Corps has created every tradition that makes Texas A&M so much different from every other school, and without them, you don't have Texas A&M and what it stands for today. So to move on to my next point on how important it is to continue to support the Texas A&M Corps of Cadets is one thing that can make a tradition so special is just by how old it is. Like I said before, the Corps of Cadets is the oldest tradition on campus. And in this little book called The Cadence, given to every single cadet in the Corps of Cadets, on the first day they show up, it states that the Corps of Cadets is 146 years old, significantly older than any other tradition that we do on campus. Now you may wonder, why is it important that I tell you this? Well, this is why. As someone who is a cadet and as someone who loves Texas A&M just as much as the next guy, it pains me to see all these wonderful traditions that we have that may be over 100 years old and slowly die. For instance, when it comes to silver taps, outside of the Corps of Cadets and outside of the cadets who show up, there's roughly only 2,500 to 3,000 people who go to a silver taps. When we go to a school that has nearly 70,000 students. This is so sad to me because silver taps is a tradition based on remembering someone's life and remembering the life they lived. And roughly 65,000 people don't want to take 30 minutes out of their day once a month to go remember those students. Silver taps is about remembering somebody who's also an Aggie. But before I dive into that, we will touch on silver taps much more later on in the presentation. But this is not the only tradition that is not seeing the respect it deserves. Another one is the Corps of Cadets. With numbers steadily declining each and every year, the presence the Corps has on campus is slowly fading. And this is sad to see. The Corps is often regarded as a heartbeat of Texas A&M and is something that should never die. Like you may know, something without a heartbeat is not something that can live. And if Texas A&M loses its heartbeat, then the entire essence of Texas A&M will die. And so, as I get into my third and final point, you may be thinking that I'm trying to persuade you to join the Corps of Cadets. Well, I would love for more people to join the Corps because I love it. Trust me, I love the Corps of Cadets. You should definitely join, but that's not what I'm here to persuade you to do. What I'm here to tell you to do is to learn about these traditions and get more involved with these traditions here on campus. At tamu.edu, it has a long list of ways that you can get involved with organizations that help to support the Corps of Cadets. or that help support these traditions on campus. Everything from muster committee to traditions council to even going as far as joining the Corps, because there's no better place to learn about these traditions than where they're founded. Apart from that, joining these organizations also allows you a great opportunity to learn the stories of how these traditions started, and many heartwarming stories that make someone care more about traditions. Everything from the muster at Corregidor in 1944 to the story of Jeremy Richard Frampton during the bonfire collapse in 1999. Well, throughout my presentation today, I hope you learned a little bit something about Texas A&M, but most importantly, I hope I built a desire in you to learn more about the traditions at Texas A&M. Hopefully, if you do have that desire to learn more, you'll be excited to learn that there's 3 more people who are ready to talk to you about 3 major traditions at Texas A&M that everybody needs to be a part of.